your unit go up against another team?
Yeah, I'm tired of practice and want to play a game, but you know, and most of the kids are too. They're ready to bang somebody else, and they're ready to show what they can do on a real stage. You know, they got to get out there and they got to execute, just take care of business, and they'll be fine.
Colorado State's a pretty balanced offense. They scored a lot of points last year. Just what is it about them that allows them to run the ball and throw the ball?
Well, last year they had a heck of a line, and they had some guys that really at the end of the year came together and they understood exactly what the coaches wanted out of them. At the end of the year they were rolling, and most of those guys are back, and so I believe they think they're going to hit the field and just, you know, take another step from where they were last season, and we got to make sure that that doesn't happen. But they got their top quarterbacks back. They got their top 2-3 running backs back, top 2-3 receivers back. They lost a little bit on the line, a little bit of tight end, but I think they think they're just going to reload and hit the ground running.
Coach, can you just kind of talk about how you think this year maybe some of the multiple formations can help you guys be more of a versatile defensive group?
Well, we're going to do whatever it takes to win that week, and our scheme and our players have a versatility that I think we can use it to an advantage. But in the end, it comes down to being tough and holding the line and doing what you're supposed to do. And so, but each week we'll have different game plans for that stuff.
Has the perimeter run game improved significantly
Yeah.
since the scrimmage?
Yeah, I would say, you know, and the guys are understanding it a little bit better. They're defeating their blocks a little bit better, and you know, I think guys like Dwayne and X and BA, you know, they've been leaders back there. And they don't play a lot in the scrimmage, and the young guys have to play. Sometimes there's some glaring issues, but as soon as you put them back in, those issues aren't there.
The last week and a half or so, it seems like the defensive backfield has kind of solidified itself with some guys coming back. Just how confident are you in that unit now? That was in flux a little bit, but at the beginning of camp.
You know, at the beginning of camp, there was a big question mark. And as each week went on, I could see him taking steps forward and taking steps forward. And in that last scrimmage, there were a lot of times where everything with the young guys, with the old guys, the combinations we had in there, everything was working out just right. Everyone knew exactly where to be. And that's the big key, is getting those guys to play together and understand, you know, how each other plays and all that. So I really, by the end of camp, felt pretty good. Now, Saturday's going to be a different test, and there's going to be different stuff going on. So they got to show up, and they got to execute, and they got to perform.
With those kinds of challenges, and talking about, you know, that week by week basis, is this where you thought your group would be at this point going into week one?
I don't look too far into the future. I don't look very far in the past, and so I didn't know where they would be. I just want to keep taking steps forward each day, and you know what we do on Saturday. I hope we're going to do certain things on Saturday, but then after that, it's just about improving, and making each day better than last. So, you know, I've said this many times, is I don't know what's happening next month. Okay, it's today, it's tomorrow, it's this week, and that's all I'm going to worry about.
Another question mark that you had, Coach, early in fall camp was the defensive line. How do you think they've come together, and how do you feel depth-wise?
To me, it was less of a question mark, but the depth you brought up. So that was the part where, you know, we're going to see. I felt Titus and Kalani and Heisa have taken care of business from day one and have had no worries about them. They could have played a game on practice 3. You know, they were ready to go. Now that second group, that depth, you know, I think Elu didn't have a great start to camp, but since then has taken steps forward every single day, and now he's a guy that I think we can count on. Lamone Williams, another guy, is a guy that's improved, and again, he's still kind of an unknown. We don't know what he's going to do on Saturday. But he's got to prove himself, and Phil Napoleon, Baker Pritchard, you know, those guys got to show up and show us that they can be counted on.
What did David Morris do as a freshman to be able to be a rotation guy in those?
He's a big guy. He's an athletic guy. He runs around and makes plays. You know, he finds a way, produces. And so it's about, you know, his major hurdle wasn't the physical stuff. It was more the mental stuff and trying to figure out how to play within our scheme.
What about Kessie, too? He obviously has stepped up at the inside line.
And yeah, just done a great job. And so, you know, he's going to rotate in and out and all that. He's going to be a big-time player for us on special teams, but he's found a way to come in and make an impact right away. And again, it's about the mental side of things and making sure that he's completely squared away on every facet. But he's done a great job.
Can you talk about the linebackers and especially Q Wetzel, how he's played this camp?
Still, he redshirted last year, so there's still a bit of unknown there because he hasn't proven it yet on Saturday. And I'm sure when he gets his chance, you're going to see he's a fast guy, he's a tall guy. He can run in space, he can tackle in space, he can pass rush. There's a lot of things he can do. Just needs to show everybody on Saturday.
the confidence, whenever I talk to the players on defense, seems to just grow every time I talk to them. They seem very comfortable with themselves. Am I reading into that, or are you getting the same vibe?
Sure. I think that the starters are ready. Then there's a second crew of guys that maybe haven't been out there yet, on Saturdays, and they're going to prove it on Saturday, and they're going to get better each time they go out. This is a good team. It's just we got to show it on Saturday. We got to prove it on Saturday.
You're obviously familiar with Colorado State from your time at Utah State. Does that help at all, or have you been too far removed from that league and playing them on?
We have. I'm Irish and I'm a coach, and so I have the longest memory in the world. And but there's things that they ran when I was at Utah State, and things way back with this staff, and you get to know coaches, and you get to know kind of certain things about what they do and how they do it, and so that will there'll be a play I'm watching from last year or whatever, and it'll remind me of a play that happened 4 years ago, and I'm like, oh, I remember this, and there's been times where 5 years down the road we prepared for a play that they hadn't shown all year, but they tried. A certain team had tried against us 5 years ago, and we this was back when I was at Utah State. We played UNLV, and they and our player knew it. Like we practiced it, so we got it. It's just one of those things where you start to get to know a staff, where people are maybe starting to get to know me too, and they don't know my tendencies.
What stands out about Nick Stevens when you look at him on tape?
Well, very confident in what they're doing. Whether it's the run game or the pass game, he's putting the ball where it's supposed to be, and he understands how to use the weapons he's got around him. And if he sees pressure going one way, he's going to check it the other. And if he sees maybe you're getting too nosy in there with some blitzes, he's going to throw it outside. He knows where his playmakers are and what they can do with it. So that, to me, is what a good quarterback does. They're like a point guard. They know how to dish the ball to who needs it to score the point.
Was he around? Did you know of him when you were at Utah State?
Yeah, he was a Vista Murrieta guy, recruit Southern California, so I've known him about him for a long time.
So what did you eat for lunch 2 weeks ago on Thursday?
Yeah.